Hey, there we go. Yeah, Michelle, let's go back to Zoom. I will put the link in the chat. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no worries. We are live. All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay, okay. Awesome. I was on Discord with Michelle, so we're jumping back in. Give me a second so I can get my camera working because it was still on Discord and I think it's just like holding it. There he is.
I need to fix my Discord thing. So I don't think I'm
Let's
set up as a member over there.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, yeah. Just the sound there. There's the sound. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it works. It works.
It works quite well. Yeah.
All right. Well, my camera is not working still for some reason. I was in Discord first, so it took the camera and now it won't release it for some reason.
Ah,
Uh
yeah. Yeah,
uh
device like it and software they do that does that. It's a
yeah,
bit weird.
yeah. Well, no problems. I see a few people here. Lords, Cascade, Eileen, how you all doing? I'm sorry you can't show up. I'm still trying to figure it out, but hope you're all doing well.
Happy Friday, everybody. Sun just showed up. So,
Yeah, same here. Starting to look better. It's
Yeah.
good. Dogs are getting super anxious here. They wanna go on a walk. They know that when it stops raining, it's their time. So they're all
Oh, yeah, smart. Yeah, dog's smart that way.
they do, man. They 100% do. All right, let me see if I can do the video now. There you go. Finally. All right. Well, good to see you all. I saw Eduardo was about to say something. How you doing, Eduardo?
Doing. You can send the sound over here a little bit more. It's taking a while to catch up to Chilliwack, so
Okay, okay. Well,
I have to wait a little bit more for the sound to arrive here.
it's moving. It's moving. It's coming your way, man.
Is it with you, Gabriel, that fixes or that adds members into Discord? Because I just joined, but I don't think I'm a
Yeah, I
member
can.
myself.
I will do ju that just now. Awesome. Thanks for pinging.
Thanks.
But yeah, if you guys haven't ever used our Discord, make sure to click on that link that I shared. It will get you straight into the voice channel. You don't need to be on the voice channel, but like make sure you join the server. It's a we have been trying to populate it. So far it's not so successful, but I still believe it. It's different from WhatsApp in that it can actually create threads and permalinks. So you don't have to go through that, scare of coming back to WhatsApp on a Monday after not checking the phone during the weekend and have 320 messages, and you're like, oh my God, do I have to filter through all of those? On Discord, we can actually separate stuff on threads and say like, okay, this thread is about this, this other one is a discussion on this and whatnot. So with time, we'll get there and check. We are actually on the Mac group. We have been investigating this week a way to connect both so that whenever you have like a 5 or 10 messages on WhatsApp on the same theme, it creates a thread on Discord. So we're working on that type of implementation to see if like we can keep some synchronicity between the platforms. That would be super cool. But it feels like it's a long way from there yet. Um, what else? What's up,
I have a
Michelle?
question. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you an admin on GovRel on the BCAI community? I sent in a request to join a day ago. It's just still
Um, oh, on
waiting
the
approval.
WhatsApp? I can check that
Yeah.
right now. Yeah. Let's see. This is a good place for bringing those types of things up.
Yeah, I figured.
Which one you said?
GovRel, GOVREL.
I think I can be. Nope, I am not. That
All
that
right.
will have to be put
Have
on
to bug
above. Yeah. We're gonna have
have
to
to bug
bug Chris on that one. Sorry.
have to bug Chris, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
so busy.
He
All
is.
right.
He's traveling too. Oh, there he is. Look at him.
Oh, you just show up, Chris?
Did.
How do I see who's in here?
Oh my God, he got in from a room. We can't handle all that people. You keep them, Chris. Thanks, bro. He's gone. He's just showing where he was for a second.
Oh,
Uh,
he's there. I think I know I see Chris there.
you
Oh,
still
maybe he's
see him?
just his icon.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Chris, if you can hear me there, I'm still waiting on Gov, whatever it is there.
Ah, I think you're gonna have a better chance at hitting him on chat, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. Go on to other
Yeah.
things anyway.
Yeah.
On to the rest
No.
of our week. Do you want me to continue or?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Well, I've been having a blast with VEO3. I've been doing everything programmatically, and I checked out what is it? The Google Labs version of it. Was it Flux? I think it's called. No, it's not Flux. What's it called again?
Flow. It's called
Hello,
Flow.
Flow.
right?
Yeah, Flow. That's it. So I checked out the Flow Ultra plan. I checked out the regular plan. It's like $26. They got discounts, and then I did the math, and I can do this stuff programmatically for about the same price as the Ultra plan, but I just don't have the interface, right? But
Hmm.
there's an advantage to learning how to do everything programmatically with Python because I can swap out other models. So hence I was asking Zaro there before on Discord, what model he was using for his excellent video because I'm thinking, just figure out how to build little interfaces and uh,
Yeah. You know
and
what?
and see what we can do, right?
Yeah, since doing that video, it was the craziest thing. Thanks, Kevin, and I gotta thank Luke as well because it was very, inspirational. I ended up coming
Oh
home and
no.
just saying like, "All right, I'll take on the challenge. I'll do something as well. Let me see how hard it can be." And well, it was really
What did
hard.
you use? Which model did you use?
I used most of it. I used CDance, but in the end, it was what Luke said on that first text on the AI Film Club group. I use Nano Banana to make character sheets.
Sure.
And then I used C Dance to do the videos, and then I used
eBay.
Omni Human to do the lip sync. So it was a mash of stuff. And there's a one or two VO videos in there as well because I was just experimenting a lot. But it's really funny because it's one of those things, right? Like I made this almost 4 minute video. I
Yeah.
somehow managed to create consistency in character, to create continuism or continuity in the scenes. And like it was so freaking hard. And then one of my friends that I showed to said like, wow, AI can do anything these days, huh? I'm like, yeah, it can, but like, bro, it took me three, like, go ahead and try yourself, go do
I
a
didn't
four
realize
minute.
how much I was spending on VEO. I was using credits that I have from Google, and I ended up spending about 300
E-
US. But
exactly.
I got splicing down nice. Like some of the stuff I've got like, half a minute and it's really good. I've got it all up on YouTube. I got one surf scene that's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Almost cinematographic quality. It's like amazing.
But
Yeah,
but but
it really the threshold to leaping to the ultimate plan, it gets very favorable very quickly, especially if you can hop on the first like 3 month $140 plan because you get unlimited VO 3.1 fast gens
ooh,
on it. Um, and you can do 20 gens at the same time on Flow, and Flow just introduced camera controls after you've done a generation as well. Um,
what?
yeah, it's pretty cool. So,
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
yeah, that's only on Flow though. You can't access
Yeah,
through any
right.
of the API aggregators. Yeah,
I thought, yeah, or even the API directly. You have to ask for access, even for extension. You have to send in a form.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
it's
it
cool.
goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the one thing that I realized really quickly was I went in as a complete noob. I didn't know anything about it, right? So I started making like, okay, create a scene like this, and then it would create, and I was like, cool. Now create the next scene and like this, and it didn't have memory, and it was super fast for me to realize it. Like, oh, how do I actually create, you know, continuity to it? Because I like on scene one, it was a guy. On scene two, it was a completely different guy on a completely different space, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in for a run. So I did a lot of manual testing first, like, okay, let me create a character sheet and keep it every time that I put a new request. But things were still like very complicated. So, but I still managed to do the four-minute video with that, but it took a long time and a lot of
Yeah.
generations. But now I'm checking the Flowyo stuff with the workflows, Confi UI, and then like it's a whole new world opening in front of me. Like the all of these things that I was complaining and saying, why don't they do this? Like everything was on Flowyo already, and I'm like, so that's how the big studios do it. Like there's a whole process, agentic process. It was really interesting. I don't know. Have you? I'm gonna push. Have you seen the video that I'm talking about, Kevin or Lourdes, Eileen? Should
Yeah.
should I share it? Should I show it? I don't know.
Show it, then we can see. I haven't used the VO yet because I'm just having a blast with ideogram and
Mhm.
Sora, so it'd be good to see how different it is.
Yeah. Let me show it then. I will do. Kevin, if I may, I will do my own premiere now. 1 week late.
We'll sanction that. That's cool. Yeah.
You did a good job.
Let's see it here.
I'll throw a question, and for those that use Sora, I'm assuming you have to get the highest version to get rid of that watermark, the Sora watermark that pops into the screen, or is it always going to be there?
It's so if you access Sora through any of the API aggregators like Kriya or Scenario, and I believe Flowyo might have access to it as well through an API connection. You get past that.
Yeah, if you go straight through API, I think there's no more watermarks.
Okay, maybe I'll need to talk to one of you guys after this to
Yeah,
understand
let's
what
do
you
it.
meant by that, because that meant absolutely nothing to me, but all right.
So all of those are platforms that host all the models basically mainly through API access. So you can choose to create in VO, you can choose to create in Sora, C Dream and C Dance, all of the big and often a few open source models in there too. It's kind of like you buy a subscription, and instead of being tied to one output platform, you get access to all of them.
Yeah. And those are the I believe, Dimitri, the way I saw it at least, and please, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong. There are some platforms like Susako, which we were talking about last week, that it feels like they buy some credits in bundle in bulk, and then they're able to sell you at a cheaper price than the actual platforms sometimes. So sometimes it's cheaper to go to a different platform that hosts all of these different models and buy the credits there than actually buying directly with Google or OpenAI. But it's the rare case. It's not every time, but like Sosako, as far as Luke and I were talking as well, was really good because there's not a lot of people, so the queues were super fast. Every generation was like one after the other, really easy as well.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, let me show you this one then. And please be gentle. This is the first time ever I use Gen AI for video. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing the audio come through from the video though.
No? No audio?
No.
No audio.
Oh, where's the video playing? I'm trying to find it here. I can see all of you.
Uh, should be on the main screen.
Yeah, I
Let
see it
me.
on the main screen.
I'm using a Pixel phone. Maybe the view's different here.
Probably.
I see a
Probably.
recording and taking
Go
notes on.
go for the first one. Try to like just
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying, Zara. Okay, I see what you mean. There's
all
three little
right.
dots at the bottom,
Yeah.
and there it is. I
Can you hear
see.
it now?
Very good. Thank you.
No, we
Sound
don't
on?
hear it.
Nope.
Well, then It's a shame. Let me share the link. I think it's gonna be better. I am sharing computer sound in high fidelity, optimized for video sharing. One less
I'm impressed
drive.
that you were able to get like so far 4 minutes, and like it's really, really pretty good for a first
No
go.
sound still, right?
No.
No, but maybe we can watch at least
Yeah,
a little bit of the
I'll give
video.
you guys the link and then we can watch together. It's gonna be easier because it's a music video after all. Here, I put it on the chat.
I was able to hear the sound, but it was very low.
Oh yeah?
Volume was very low, but I could hear the sound in the background there.
Okay, let me try one last time then. Because if you could hear a little bit, then it's just the way that I am sharing the sound. Optimized for video sharing.
It's likely a routing. So when Zoom shares audio, and especially if you
Yeah.
do it for original sound for musicians, it's got
Mhm.
its own sound driver that it needs to output to instead of like your normal system audio.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll do that seamlessly when you do it, but it's finicky on some platforms for sure.
Yeah, we hear
There
it
it
now.
is.
There you go.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I
Thanks.
can see why you wanted audio to play along with the video.
It's because of music, baby. But yeah, so that's the one that I was able to make. Thanks, man. For the first time there using Sosako. And as I said, it was hard to just get the consistency of the characters because there is obviously a story there. Like there's the older guy, and then he sees a simulation of a little bit younger guy, and then a little bit younger, and then the different animations from different times of video games and whatnot. I wanted to like go at that. So to create each of those characters and then create consistency, oh, that was a nightmare, man, to do it manually. But super fun as well. Like I couldn't stop doing it. And I'm glad I had some credits in because yeah, it was just like a big test that I just couldn't. I just wanted to see it ended. Like I just wanted to see a final product, and I was super happy.
I just sent you guys like an 8-second one if you want to look. If you can
Oh, let's do it.
send it in the chat. I don't know how to play it on my phone for you guys.
Let me do it. Let me open up.
And
You got
Gabriel, how long did
anything?
it take you to do this? Half a day?
No, no, two days. Yeah, about 2 days. Like full on coming in back and forth. I would do some generations and a step out, and then come back, and then editing was all done on CapCut because I wanted to test it. Also, never used it before. I've always used Premiere or something like that. Let's see, Michelle, is this the one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's a rock stack I did on the beach, you see. And this little guy, how loose he got added in. I didn't ask for that detail. So maybe there's proof of consciousness in the AI.
There needs to be
Started with the
someone there.
I took the image out of a bigger picture, used Nano Banana to extract just the character on create a surfboard with them, and then I put him into VEO3.
I just love the stone surfboard, man. That's such a cool idea.
And then
Surf.
two images too. There's the one of the surfer and then the background image of Wreck Beach there too, and it regenerated
Hmm.
everything.
Oh, so this is Wreck Beach. That's true. Yeah, I
Sort
recognize
of.
it.
It's a kind
I,
of
I
Wreck Beach.
recognize it somewhere. Yeah.
Sort of, but not exactly. It's an AI version.
Yeah, that's really cool. Love
Yeah,
it.
that's kind of fun.
Love it.
Mikhail, how did you create this one more time?
I used VEO3, and then I used Python in Colab notebooks.
Love it. I like it.
I can run it in I could run it with a Flask too. I can do it or from the command line too. But yeah, I did it programmatically.
Hey, Kevin, anything else that we should be showing just as a follow-up for the film festival we had? Not sure if everyone here was there. Uh,
Yeah,
critic
I'm
of
not I don't really have anything lined up. Yeah, nothing at the moment. Yeah, you've got some of the individual ones. We've got
yeah.
the recap clips in the processing queue. So
Okay.
those should be dropping pretty soon, I hope. Yeah.
Yeah. This one, oh, no worries, Eileen. So this one was shared by Luke. Should I share it here? Did everyone see it already? Because this one is really good.
At the Vancouver AI event.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we saw it at the event.
Yeah, this one was awesome. That was so good. It's funny because
It's really good.
I had on my old YouTube channel, we had a video that was almost the same. I will, Lord, no worries. I'll put it here. It's amazing. You'll love it. We had a very, very similar concept where it's just like four dudes, like actually five dudes, sitting down to have an RPG session, but they're stuck on character creation and they don't leave the character creation for hours because they're just like trying to figure out how they can flirt and have relations with each other within the game. So it's like a very big guy go like, yeah, but I want to be like a redhead Elphys, and how will I be able to seduce this guy's character? And the other guy got, you want to seduce me? And then there's a whole discussion for hours. But like this video is so good because it reminded me of that right away. D&D playing is something else. Well, what else? Do we have anything? Anyone that wants to share anything that they've been doing with AI this week?
I had to update one of my projects. My Tarot app was running uh, Gemini 1.5, and then it died because they discontinued the model. So I used AI, and I had to implement 2.5. And I mean, it's just so much faster to build stuff now and read it and deploy to the cloud now. The Docker files, everything. Like it used to take like 20 bugs that you would find when you were doing the deployments, and now it's just like one or two. It's just, the AIs even help you find the bugs, so it was really gratifying to be able to. And then I regenerated way better images too. Like Nano Banana doesn't mess up now. You generate images, it doesn't hallucinate. It's just great.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. What about you, Chris? I saw you come up. Do you have anything to share?
Not on the messing around directly with AI file, but I have been messing around with like IP and sort of IP law and whatnot this week, just starting to get my feet like wet with that. So a lot of the tools and resources I work with are like open source out of the
Hmm.
box, and just trying to figure out like how to navigate the different licensing requirements. Not only when you produce something with open source, like alter it, do you have to put it back into the community? But also just trying to figure out like if you're building a stack of open source tools
Mm.
rather than altering those tools,
Mm.
what your sort of licensing requirements are with that, because a lot of the work that I do trying to frame up like an approach to like indigenous enterprise AI solutions is predicated on using open source tools rather than as like a sort of an ecosystem or a stack of tools rather than customizing those tools. So it's been a crash course on trying to figure out kind of the ins and outs of IP. Whereas like before, I was like, oh, I think I know about IP. I know what a trademark is and a copyright. And then you get into it and you realize how little you know, kind of thing.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, I've just been jumping in with 2 feet on that. But it's
please share the findings. Give us a TLDR. So what should we be looking at?
well, tool by tool, I mean, I think it's part of our innovation sort of strategies to understand what licensing requirements are there before, we really start deploying them. So I think that was the main lesson learned, is just to ensure, like, I'm not just glossing over the terms and whatnot of,
Hmm.
open source licensing, and understanding, there's differences between whether it's open source or open weight, and just kind of like what that license entails. But I'm kind of like going back to the facilitator of the workshop that I was a part of with BC Tech on this, and then I'm starting a course later in the month specifically on IP sort of law and how it works in the country and whatnot. So I'll have more to report maybe in a couple of weeks on what the actual implications for stacks of open source tools are versus, I think the TLDR is, you got to do your homework on every single tool if you're going to start to customize it before you start to deploy, kind of thing, and get your ducks in a row so your business isn't up shit creek because you didn't do your homework before using it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So um yeah, as I get closer and closer to thinking about like really opening up my admittedly pre-revenue sort of the tech side of my consulting work, is to make sure I've got those ducks in a row, kind of thing. And I think that's one of the crash courses you go through as a budding entrepreneur, right, is figuring out what you got to do ahead of time so you don't get your ass burnt down the line, sort of
Oh
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Well, that's good, man. Please do report back.
Yeah.
All of these conversations are super. I mean, they were a big part of the last meetup already, but I think that just by going in and making myself some video, those questions started to pop as well. Like when I was uploading this to YouTube, they now have a checkbox that says is this like, do you pretend to create, like, is this real? But they
Yeah.
have very specific wording on how to put it. It's like, are you pretending to be someone else? Are you? And
Mhm.
I was kind of like holding myself. I didn't know. Like I was like, well, it's not pretending to be anyone. It's just like a new character. It's like an animation character. How do I put? Do I check this or not? Like, should I be super ethical about it, but at the same time, like, is Google just trying to demonetize me and take this like for free because they're gonna they're gonna use it for their training. So it's super complicated. It's a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, it's really interesting how that kind of works in the ways they disempower us as entrepreneurs and creators.
Yeah.
And I kind of see AI as a way for some of the bigger corporations to really, like you say, demonetize us or disempower us in terms of our ability to leverage these tools.
Hmm.
And the one thing that I was getting at, that was like a banger. I love the synth and the drums and that. I was just thinking like this remind me of the Gorillas like 20-25 years ago when Gorillas were brand new and they're kind of like these virtual personas through
Yeah.
animated music videos. You weren't sure exactly who the musicians were unless you were like right in the indie scene kind of thing, right? And so when
100%.
I saw you with your simulated band there, that's the first thing I thought of was the Gorillas. And like, so do those simulated personas and what they kind of produce as part of the whole package, do they belong to you? Like, how does that fit in your IP structure and how would you operationalize that? Because hey man, good music is good music, and
Mhm. Yeah.
we'll consume it, right? So probably won't be the first and the last person to run up against that.
That's a good one, by the way. Like before I make the YouTube video, I am registered with SOCAN because I write lyrics. I write like I it's not a profession, my profession, but it's something that I've done for a long time. So I always had the registry or always been registered with the these copyright things for compositions and musical compositions and songwriting. So I wrote the lyrics. They were executed by and produced by AI. Is this art? Like, am I the conversation just starts there. What is my relation to the work now? Is
Mhm.
like, is it art? Am I an artist? Like, how do you even start those conversations? I have a friend that yesterday he saw it and immediately he was like, "That's so cool," but like, I can't say it's art. I'm like, well, you heard the song before when I sang it to you before AI did it. Was it art then? I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
but it's different. I'm like, okay, but how? Like, I am very interested and curious to understand. Like, what do you
Yeah.
guys think? I don't know.
I know the answer. I went to a lecture out at UBC put on by the law faculty about AI back in I guess February or March there. Patrick Pennefather was there, and then they had a law professor, and he discussed the ins and outs of it. There have been a few cases, and essentially, if there's enough human involvement, if it isn't just a simple prompt, like if you put in a prompt and it says, "I want a love song," and it generates a song, that is owned by the AI. But if you wrote, you can show that you wrote all of the lyrics and you've significantly modified the song, then it is actually yours. Similarly, if you gave it a prompt and you kept modifying it enough times, and then you modify enough pieces, I guess if it's a song, it probably have a video, so you modified that, you can show that there's an actual human mind behind it and it was you, then you own it.
Yeah. The conversation yesterday with my friend who's a very good guitarist who put in 50,000 hours as a musician, he is pissed. He is someone that's like he doesn't like this type of thing, right? So we had a very deep conversation into it, and we went all the way to Duchamp. Like, okay, so writing your name on a urinal is art, but making a prompt, and again, terrible comparisons. It was a long conversation to get to that point. Okay, no, like, but Pollock, right? Pollock plays with RNG. You're throwing paint in the screen. What is the agency on how the paint lands on the screen and all of those things? And he was like, "Oh, come on, man, you're just trying to annoy me at this point." I was like, "No, I'm really curious now because these are questions we have to answer, especially if we're playing around with this type of technology, right?"
Well, if I may share a thought that just popped into my mind as you're
Please.
discussing this, imagine you decided to open a business and you decided to open a music studio, and you hire one person to write the lyrics, another person to put the music together, and you say to them, "I'm paying you $50 an hour. I want the song about whatever." And one person writes the lyrics, another person writes the music, and you have a song. I guess the question becomes who created that song? Is it the people, the AI, or people you're paying, or
And that
your
was one
thought?
of
But
his responses. He said like, "You're taking the Pope as the owner of Michelangelo's, art because he paid for it." Or he told Michelangelo, do the ceiling like this, or I want to see a scene like this. But Michelangelo is the one that made like, developed the thought and drafted the things and whatnot. So yeah, I think you're right. There's something in between those there, and I think he's right as well. That's why I'm so conflicted. I'm
that's right.
like,
I
it
just don't
is.
think there's going to be one right answer to it because there's always going to be situations where your thought is going to be incorrect
I just
or your
That's
reasoning
it.
will be incorrect.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're dealing with the real Quincy Jones or an AI Quincy Jones, you still got to protect your ass in the when you're making something like that. Hey, that's what I was thinking. Is like, if you got this AI producer helping you put your ideas into reality, do you need some sort of IP agreement still on that back end that clarifies kind of the creative ownership in the creative process? And what's the difference between using AI and using other studio tools? Are they, is there a difference or is it tangibly, um,
Mm.
changed because it's a creative generative tool?
Hmm.
That is the question. That's what doesn't stop me. Like I can't stop thinking about because it's literally that. I think that as I said for this example, I know I wrote the lyrics. I know at one point I was listening to the song that I produced with AI and I said, "Oh, you know what would be a cool idea for this music video?" And I came up with the concept and I wrote it. I actually, I'm old school, so I was drawing a storyboard before I actually went into AI to say, help me write a storyboard or help me write a script. I did the concept. There is work there, but at the end, it's not exactly my vision. It is my vision. It's a production. It's like what Dimitri said, like it's you hired an artist and he is going to put your vision into a media. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm satisfied with this. And then I move to the next, step. All right, I'm satisfied with the scene of 10 seconds. Let's do the next one. Okay, and then I generate five or six more, and okay, this one is good. And then I go to the next one and next one. And in the end, I try to make like a little quilt of all of those generations. But still, is it my vision because I am seeing different generations and choosing it, or is it AI in control because it is generating by itself? Even though I'm prompting, it comes back to semiotics, right? Like the way I see it in my head is unique to me and my experiences of life. It's how I grew up, it's my culture,
Just like
it's my
every director.
exactly. So like if I'm telling you about this yellow house that I lived when I was a kid, you can imagine immediately the icon of a yellow house, the image of a yellow house. But how can you tell that is the same tone of yellow that that the house I lived in was? The same
Again,
architecture, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna have to give you so much more details. Okay, like I lived in a
Mm.
colonial looking Portuguese architecture, early Brazil. The yellow was a little burned or it was a little lighter. Still, everything has so much room for interpretation. How do we own that vision in the end if we know that our own thoughts, our own images in our heads are so unique? I'm sorry, I went too deep. This is not Mac. This is not mind AI and consciousness. I'm sorry, guys.
No, but it does make a very good point because I remember 3 years ago somebody wrote an article. It's in finance and business context, but the article was originally his, but at the bottom he actually put in collaboration with AI. So technically, it's like a convergence or an emergence. Like, there's a cell and an atom, but really, is that a molecule kind of analogy?
I think that's the perfect wording. I will start using that now if you let me, if you allow me.
Of course.
I will
It's not
use,
mine. So.
yeah, in collaboration with AI sounds like a partnership more than trying to get ownership for something that I'm not really sure if I am the owner of. It's
That would be
so
good to
conflicting.
put down the percentage of the ownership.
But
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it
I
goes
was
back
gonna
to the
say
same
that.
issue though. Go ahead.
No, but I remember one time too, like if you have something with your intellectual property and your patent, I remember somebody, and this was from a long time ago, maybe even 20 years ago, said that if you change the content slash context by 20%, it's technically yours, which is a very, very small in the context of, do I really actually own that if I only change it for 20%?
Mhm.
So I guess it boils down to you're talking about the mindfulness, like integrity of, do you actually feel that you own that if you only tweak it for 20%,
Well,
right?
think about schools and plagiarism, right?
I
Is
was about
there
to
a
say that.
number where a student can take an existing thing, modify it 20%, and say, look, this is my article now because I've modified it enough to make it mine.
It's my homework now. It
Right.
doesn't matter if it matches, Joe's on my side. It's my homework,
Yeah.
20%.
That's why I
Yeah.
like the collaboration because I work with my husband for almost 20 years, and our staff know if it's his decision or my decision, it's separate. But if I sign in, we actually have a name that we combine together. If I sign off on my email signature as Desiree, they know that I talked to him, he talked to me. So they cannot go to one another. It's an emergence of something. So
Wow,
I feel like
that's
this for an emergence.
that's actually super smart. You have a third person who is the amalgamation of the of both of your consciousness and rights. That's awesome. That's a good way to run it. I'll
Hmm.
do that too. Damn, Lourdes, I'm taking a lot of insights here from you today. Thanks. But yeah, that's a great conversation that only started because I got inspired because of the beat up. But it was far, man. Like this friend of mine, he was mad. He was like, like you can't just take it. Like I took 50,000 hours to, know how to play the guitar this way. You can't just like make a prompt and say, I own this guitar solo now. I'm like, well, watch me, but at the same time, like I agree with you, but at the same time, watch me do it. And here it is. And because like, yeah, it doesn't prove any point. Like this is not art because it's not made by humans. I'm like, well, they said the same about photography, right? Like when photography came up and photographers were presenting it as a work of art, they were like, no, you just click the button. Like, come on. Like it's been now we know it's been, we've been in touch with the tool for too long and we understand lighting. We understand, composition of scenes. We understand coloring. We understand all of these other things that came into be because of photography. A new field was open. And the same with computer graphics. Like when someone said, well, we're doing an animation on computers now, people were like, no, if you're not doing it, paper by paper, frame by frame, it's cheating. But it isn't because then it took a long time for people. It took animators tens of thousands of hours to, you know, be one with their tools and their new systems and their new processes and everything that came. And I think that we're just super early on that process with AI as well. Like we don't know, but I like in collaboration with because I think that that actually creates a space for a conversation that's a little less toxic than I did the lyrics, I did this, the AI did that, that just in collaboration, like. And then they will ask, as Dimitri said, like they will ask still, and then the conversation will start. But at least you're starting from a better place, I guess.
There's one thing I wanted to share with you and get your opinion on this. Um, because going back 20, 25, 30 years ago when, you would have Adobe After Effects that does
Yeah.
something amazing, one specific thing. Then you have editing tools that are common and everybody uses them. Now it seems to be where all of these different AI packages are trying to have a race and see which one can embed editing software in it and image
Mhm.
generation in it and audio creation in it. And it seems that the times of learning one package, understanding it well enough so you can use it, has ended a while ago. And
Mhm.
now almost any package you start using that works with video or text or anything else, they kind of seem to be amalgamating and trying to do what other packages do.
Mhm.
So I wanted to kind of throw it out there and get your opinion on this because it seems to me that you can't it's you're gonna have to learn a dozen of packages constantly at different tools and see which one's better and because you won't be able to
Pretty
stick to
much.
one of them because somebody else is going to do something much better for
Yeah,
less money.
for sure.
I mean, I mean,
How
I,
could it be any other way?
I mean, I think that there's a middle ground there. I agree with Michelle. Yeah, sure. You're gonna have to learn a bunch of stuff. You're gonna be. I think that generalists are gonna be on top right now. People that know just a little bit of how every industry work, because again, if someone that doesn't know a little bit about animation goes into trying and doing what I did with that video, they're gonna have way more trouble than I did. Luke made a much better work with less using less money and doing it faster than I did, just because he knows the processes. So he
How much
didn't
did you
have
blow? How much did you go through?
credits about
Yeah.
150, yeah. But like I think $70 was just like experimenting before starting the actual program, like the video. When I blew through $70 and then I said, okay, I think I'm ready to start. And then I start over. Like I had a bunch of videos about a bunch of generations, but I didn't use any of those because they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
useless. They were like, yeah, there's
I
no
think that's just
consistency.
part of the process. You have to
Yeah,
generate stuff. I'm
it's
thinking
fun.
I'm going to try Hugging Faces or other free ones, and then even though the models aren't as good, play around with that. How to like splice things together, so that
But
I'm
but
not spending a big amount of money at first, but do it for free and then go back to the more expensive models.
that's it, because it's what I said. Like once I realized, oh, I can't just prompt. I'm gonna have to use animation logic. I'm gonna have to create a character sheet. I'm gonna have to create a proper storyboard, a script so that I can actually, connect the dots really well and do the least amount of generative, generations as possible. Once I started doing by that mindset, it was super cheap and fast. Before that, I was just like trying to use it as a tool like anyone else without applying processes. So to Dimitri's question, one, I think that right now we're going through a very saturated time. There's a lot of people testing new tools and putting out new tools and seeing what sticks, like just throwing, spaghetti on the wall and seeing which one stays there, like type of thing. I think that there will be, that normal balancing of the market at one point where like big tools are taking more space and you're like, yeah, if you're doing this type of thing, you just go to that like Adobe stuff before AI, right? But on second, I think that it's what I was talking about generalists. I think that people that know a little bit of processes, if you know a little bit of coding, you're way ahead of me trying to code with Lovable or Claude and whatnot because you can check if they're going through the right steps and you're not, at peril of just getting eaten by the machine that tries to improve, 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 and spends all of your credits. Like it will do that
Yeah.
if you don't know what it's doing, right? Uh, and then if you know a little bit of animation, you're way ahead of anyone else who's trying to start with video. Like so there's this really cool room for people to be more curious about how the processes work on a larger scale, just like on the surface level, and then test out the tools.
There's also like what you're using it for. I remember I had somebody in a newsletter today comparing Perplexity, GPT, Grok, and Gemini and Claude on a research project. And apparently GPT-5 took 17 minutes to actually answer, while Grok did it 2 commands or prompts already faster. And then, but the winner was Perplexity in terms of the depth of that research. So I think it will depend on what you're trying to do as well. Like I like Manus, but it's expensive if you're not on the professional slash corporate, and it
Oh,
gets a lot of credit. I like the agentic way of doing it, but on things like all the other tools does the same thing other than actually do the work.
so you've been using Manus.ai
I
a lot?
love that I am.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Manus for I do a lot of work stuff, but like what I
I
said,
gotta
it
try it
gets
out.
really expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
I've been
me.
hearing great things about it. I gotta try it out. I don't know. Have you guys seen this thing where they put all of the models to trade? They gave $10,000 to each of the models. This is being live operated since October 17th. So they gave like 10,000 to each of the models to trade on crypto. And here are all of the completed trades, all of the positions that each of the models are taking. If they're shorting, they're long, like what they're doing. And at one point, look at this. DeepSeek doubled 120%, 130% the money that they invested, but now it's back to 10. And then if you see GPT here, it's been bad since the start. They never got like it just lost so much money. Grok was up for the first couple of days and then it just tanked. Claude kind of tanked. And Quen is on top with a little bit of earnings here, but like it's crazy how I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. It's
What is
really
that
interesting.
tool?
Oh,
Can you share what that
Yeah.
tool is? I'm curious to
yeah.
see.
It's,
It's
Throw
it's
in the
always
link.
interesting. It's always
It's
interesting
doing
to
yeah.
see
doing it
how they
wrong.
could configure. Because every model
They
will need to be configured differently, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting test that they ran. I think it's over. They wanted to test it for a whole week, and I think it's just yeah, I think it's stopped. No, it's more than 1 week. Yeah, it's now over. It stopped on November 3rd. So
I see.
yeah, 4 days ago. But this was like the first test. It was like a race. And then they left like Bitcoin there if someone just bought and hold as a comparison. And then the you can see every single position and every single trade that each of the models did to get the results that they did. It's really interesting. Like I love those arena things where they put a bunch of different models to do a task, like you said, Lourdes, and then just like, okay, let's see what comes out of this.
So in
Well,
the end, did you say that Quen made the most money, even though it's
Yes.
fluctuating at seven?
Yeah. Quen won with 12.287, and then DeepSeek went second with 10.476. And everybody else lost a lot of money.
that just shows something that is part of my headcanon around AI, which is where we humans are good or experts or whatnot, we're still better than AI. And when I was working with the provincial government, working with senior management, what we realized was our briefing notes were still better than what AI produced. It was AI would outpace like the most junior staff. And so there's like a dividing line where AI no longer becomes useful because we as humans are better. And regardless of any time savings in terms of the production, you lose those time savings by going back and checking its work and sometimes like fully scrapping its work where I'm just like, listen, the argumentation and the structuring that AI is bringing into this briefing note is just simply not up to par with executive level thinking or subject matter expert level thinking. And so that was like a really early lesson learned that, the use case for AI also depends on human capability and the amount of time we have to spend on those tasks. You know, there are times when we're going to be so pressed for time or whatever, or human resources that we should be using it. But there are other times when quality matters, then it's just time to buck up and put your nose back to the grindstone. It's not there yet, and it's still point in time. It's still dumb, but sometimes it blows our mind with its, you know, reasoning and data sort of ingestion capability.
Yeah, I mean, if they ended that test on October 27th, DeepSeek would have made 130% on the investments, and it would probably created a bunch of headlines like DeepSeek is the best. Like, and but you gave it enough time, it went back to 10,000, it lost everything it had gained in two other days, you know. Okay, guys, I just realized we went a little bit over, but this was amazing. Thank you so much for coming over and spending some time here. Eduardo, I just want to check with you if at Ed is you on Discord.
Uh,
Do you
who is
have
what my influence gonna be?
yeah,
Where do I
I
check this? Oh yeah, Ed.
just Ed
Yeah, the handle is edu7 motor for me,
EDU7. Okay.
but it
Uh
displays as just Ed. Also, how
okay.
do I change that?
You
Ah,
can
there we go.
right click yourself. Yeah. Do
Okay,
seven Mata. Okay. So I made you a member. You now have the role. So yeah.
there I am.
Let me know
All
if you
right.
guys need anything. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Same to
You
you.
too.
Thanks
Talk
very much.
soon. Bye.
Battery medium. Top Pixel 9. Disconnected. Ready to connect. Connected to ESKTOPHJR22RG.
Mm, no, no. It's- Hmm. Oh, yeah, I'll go to X. Mm. don't want to fuck with these things. There. Okay, that's not that bad.